The power of optimism. I have come to believe that the notion of talent without the notion of optimism means very little. Martin Seligman. Looking at the world, and oneself, through purple glasses not only seemingly beautifies reality but really changes it. This view is called optimism, and we are all endowed with it, some more, some less, and it can be learned. Without optimism there is no getting out of bed, no flight, no joy of life. Optimism is there to alleviate a reality which can be both difficult and cruel, dangerous and uncertain. Many thinkers believe that optimism is the driving force of life. Where does the source of optimism lie? Where are its limits? Optimism is not subject to rigorous laboratory research and cannot be expressed in numbers. It is outlined in quite general assessments of one's own abilities, health and happiness, success, etc. For years, psychologists preferred to explore the darker sides of the human soul in a desire to find ways to suppress these disorders, and optimism remained at the level of unexplored folk wisdom. However, some 20 years ago, the scientific public turned its attention to the side of good and set out in search of an answer as to why some people, despite unfavorable living conditions, are immune to depression, fear, aggression, neurosis and the like. Why are they happy in spite of everything? Fear and caution during evolution were the best life insurance for man. Our brain reacts faster to danger, more intensely to discomfort than to the beautiful. However, fear as a constant companion would paralyze any desire for action, change and the like. Research has been conducted with people suffering from malignant diseases. Despite the same diagnosis, optimists experienced significantly fewer health complications than pessimists. They left the hospital earlier and returned to their daily routine faster. From a medical point of view, there was no explanation for such differences in the healing process. Optimistic, self-confident people are better able to cope with major upheavals. After the defeat, optimistic athletes return to top form faster. Positive business people have a higher success rate. What is the secret of optimism? Optimism has a positive effect only when it really drives thoughts and actions. Other people. At the heart of it all is the perception of reality, the way we explain our experiences, the expectations we have of the future. The belief that we can start something on our own releases a large amount of energy in a person, completely independent of his real possibilities and abilities. We learn most of a positive attitude throughout life. We learn through our own experiences, by imitating role models, through support, through signals sent to us by our body. We are always amazed by the fact that our dissatisfaction with our own life depends to a lesser extent on the real standard of living, and much more on the fact whether that standard is rising or falling. Likewise, as long as we have the feeling that we are progressing, that we are moving forward, that we are achieving something, we are comparing ourselves less with others. Comparing ourselves with others is not of great importance. Optimism helps us to overcome difficult situations, to dream, see a bright future. Rejoice. If you haven't, learn to be optimistic.